Hey friends, welcome back to Colourful Indian. I'm very happy to have you here today. My name is Ranita and I like to do makeup swatches, tutorials, and reviews. I also get into mental health and lifestyle on this channel, so if all of those things resonate with you, then please hit the subscribe button. Today I'm going to be getting into Terra Moons Space Chemistry Palette. These are 12 new beautiful shades and I'm pretty excited to swatch them on my eyes and show you what you can expect if you decide to pick these up. So this video is basically going to be the same as my other Terra Moon videos which I've done, and I go into quite a lot of detail if you've actually seen those videos, so you know what you're going to be getting in this one. I'm going to try and keep it as short and simple as possible, but basically you're going to be getting swatches over here in two types of lighting, and I'm also taking it with my hand phone which has 8K and my Canon, which is, you know, my professional camera, and I'm also going to be showing you swatches on my eyes so that you know what these shades look like on an olive neutral tan skin tone. We're going to be doing product shots, swatches, eye swatches, and I'm also going to be throwing in some comparisons. Now, if there are comparisons that you want to see, then I will do my best to kind of give you feedback on them if they're not already covered by this video. The Terra Moons Space Chemistry palette is going to be launching on the 19th of January at 7 p.m. So if you would like to swap the shade Meteor Sand for any of Terra Moon's other mattes, then you're supposed to do so with a note on your order and they will take care of that. So they said that they're not going to be selling these shadows as singles at this time, but they'll offer a small stock of empty palettes for those who have expressed interest in the palette itself, and they're waiting for a bigger batch without shadow names to arrive for the ultimate build your own palettes, but that's not going to be around for a bit. So if you want to just get this current palette which has the names of the shades on it, then you know you guys can pick that up. And basically they said that if this sells out, they will do their best to offer a pre-order as well. So you don't have to worry about rushing into this order if that's something that you're not able to do at this time. So the palette consists of 2 mattes, 2 high foiled shimmers, 4 duochromes, and 4 multichromes. It retails for $75. This is a magnetic palette, which means that you have the ability to rearrange the palette and create your own color stories with it. We're going to be going exactly in the order of the swatches. So we're going in first with Meteor Sand. I'm going to be applying Meteor Sand over here on the outer corners of my lid. I did notice that this looks very similar to my skin tone in some ways. So yeah, you can see what that looks like. It really is making me feel like I'm putting my skin onto my skin using this particular shade. It's a very nice shade though, and I really do like having a shade so close to my skin tone. Just look at that. So this is a really pretty nice shade, pretty easy to work with. As always, I've gone in with a base. I'm not using colored bases for this video. I am only going to be, you know, using clear bases so that you can see exactly what these colors look like. It's very sparkly, kind of looks like it has a white almost kind of base going on there, but it's also kind of like this really interesting yellowy green kind of shade when you apply it on the lids. And we're just going to quickly do a sweep on my lid. This is so sparkly. I feel like I really love the way that the shade is looking, and it kind of just works beautifully with Meteor Sand as well. If you're looking for more neutral shades from Terra Moons, this would probably be amazing. So I'm kind of using Meteor Sand as a base right now because it's really similar to my skin tone, which I like because it kind of makes me look like I'm only wearing one shade, but yeah, I'm actually wearing 2. So yeah, these are the very first 2 shades. So yeah, you can see what this is looking like. I'm just doing this so you can kind of see what it looks like when light hits it at a different angle, but it's a very sparkly shade, and I think that it got onto my eye pretty well. It is really nice, and you know, when I'm kind of turning my eyes like this, you can see that it kind of just makes it look like I've only got my skin. We've got the first 2 shades, so these are from the previous collection, that is Crater over there, and we've also got Asteroid, and then right next to that we have the 2 mattes from this collection. As you can see that they are very different. The first 2 over here are more cool toned, and then these 2 on the top over there are definitely more warm toned. This is the shade Moon Water over here, and it is very reflective. In some ways it kind of reminds me of some of the highlighters that I worked with previously. It just looks really, really pretty, and I'm very excited to see how this is going to look like on my eyes. We are applying this onto my other lid as well so that you get to see what this looks like. And all I have right now is that clear base, that's my NYX mixing medium, and a little bit of castor oil, because, you know, my eyes are going to get very dry the more that I swatch. So yes, this looks like it can be a really, really beautiful topper shade, and it also has a similar effect to the previous shade that we just looked at, which was light particles. So when I'm turning my eyes like this from side to side, you can definitely see like a bit of, you know, that transparent, it kind of looks like you're wearing nothing. That's the kind of effect that these shadows seem to be having. It's very, very sparkly though, kind of looks like a silver. Yeah, just a lovely, beautiful silver. So if I pick this up, maybe, yeah, so when the light's actually hitting, you can actually see the shade more. And then when there's no light hitting, you kind of just get that transparent thing going on. I can definitely see that happening. So it's pretty cool. So I was planning to do some comparisons with the Terra Moons highlighters as well. So this is the shade Moon Water, which is from the current collection. And as you can see, I'm kind of looking for shades that I can compare this with. I think that it's probably going to be shades from this row, in particular that shade right over here. This one's a bit deeper, and this one's too cool toned for the Moon Water shade. So I don't think the rest of them are actually going to make any sense. So let's just do these two. All right, so over here we've basically got Winter Star, and then we've got the shade Moon Water, which is from the current collection, and then we've got Haze of the Moon over here. And last but not least, we have Autumn Sunset. So you can see that there are differences between these shades, but they kind of all look like they could come from the same family. Now, of course, the top two shades are highlighter shades and the bottom two are eyeshadows, but they're also beautiful, and I kind of feel like you could use all of them as highlighters, and I also feel you could use all of them as eyeshadows. So it's pretty versatile over here, and you can see that there are definitely clear differences in all of these shimmers, because those two are completely different shades of brown. And then you have the Moon Water, which is silver, and Winter Sky, which is obviously, you know, like a lot more colors. So I just wanted to do this comparison because I didn't really have any other Terra Moons shades that were this silvery. Yeah, so this is Terraform. As you can see, it's a deeper brown, and it's a matte shade. So I'm excited to see how this is going to look on my lids. Now we have Solarium over here, which kind of looks like a bronze kind of pink moving into a yellowy gold shade over here. Very reflective, as you can see with me just moving it up and down like this, which means you're going to get a lot of shine from this color. So I'm just going to be putting it right here. As you can see, this is what it looks like. You can see it's definitely a deeper brown from the first one that we tried, which was Meteor Sands. So it would be really, really nice for just every day, and you know, then you can just go over with another shimmer over there if you wanted to. And now we're going to be going in with Solarium. I'm going to just use my finger because this is what Solarium looks like. It's very, very shiny, and I'm just going to stamp it so that you can kind of see what this looks like. There we go. So Solarium, when you actually take it on your brush, it has a pink kind of base. So right now this is, you know, just what it's looking like. Let's see if I can pick anything up here. You kind of do see a little bit of that pink base coming through. Like, you kind of can see that, like, in the mirror anyway. I can kind of see it. It's not very obvious though, so this would also be really, really nice as a neutral shade. Alright, so these are the comparisons for Solarium. So Solarium is the second shade, so that would be this one over here. Now above that is Amalthea, which you can see is clearly different. It's pink with orange. This is from the highlighters. Next we've got Haze of the Moon. Next to Haze of the Moon we've got Autumn Sunset over here. And then over here what we have is Astral Allure, also from the highlighter collection. And last but not least, we've got Spiral Galaxy, which is an eyeshadow, and Super Luminous. I thought that all of these should be kind of swatched together, so you can kind of get a feel of, you know, how similar the shade Solarium, which is, again, this one over here, is to all of the past shades. And you can see that they're all very shiny, all very pretty, but it definitely is different, but it kind of feels like it comes from the same family. So you could just kind of get that and add it to, you know, your collection. And I kind of feel, looking at this, that this could even be used as a blush or even a highlighter, because it's got a very rose gold kind of thing going on. Here we have Atmosphere, which kind of looks like a deeper brown with silver. And it kind of reminds me in some ways of, again, the highlighters that we previously got, but we will do comparisons and kind of take a look at all of this so that you know what this is going to look like. But yeah, you know, it's a really, really beautiful reflective shade. You can see what it looks like over here. It's kind of got a deep brown base. When I'm moving my eyes, you can definitely see that, you know, deeper brown coming through. And we're going to just tap this onto my eye here so you can see what this looks like too. So you can see what this looks like. It's a very beautiful color and very, very sparkly again, as you can see. If I bring my thing here, you can see, I don't, like, this doesn't have a shift, but I'm just saying that if I move my light, you know, away, you're going to get that shadow there. But if I have a light reflecting over here, it looks very, very shimmery right in that particular area. So you can definitely see that difference. Okay, so now I wanted to do the comparison for this shade over here. So that one would be Atmosphere, and this is from the present collection. Next to that, we have Metallurgy, and then we've got Ursa from the highlighter collection. This over here is Hypernova, and then over here we've got Omega Centauri. Kind of felt like they all have a little bit of similar tones, but obviously when I'm putting them right next to each other, you can see that there are differences. And then, you know, if I'm putting my arm down like this, you can see that there's a definite difference in the base and everything. But I mean, these two right at the end, which is, you know, the eyeshadows, they have obvious differences because there's green and pink in them, so you can see very clear shifts over there. But I think these three over here can be kind of like gradients of maybe a similar color, because I kind of feel like, yeah, these are kind of similar. The most obvious difference is that Atmosphere, which is, you know, the shade from this collection. It is far more silvery than the other two shades, but yeah, they are not the same, even if they are kind of looking like it. This is the shade Luminite. It's a purple kind of moving into a silvery gray, and I can see a lot of shine coming from this shade. In some places I kind of get a blue kind of vibe coming through here. Luminite is basically this really, really pretty gray, and you even see pinks and golds in the shade. It's really fascinating, actually. Depending on the angle, you can catch quite a few shifts here. It's kind of like a much deeper silver than any of the other tones that we've actually seen so far. That we are able to see something, maybe a yellow or a pink, because I'm definitely seeing that in my mirror. It's just that it's more of a subtle kind of shade. I'm also seeing a little bit of purple. And when I was actually applying it, I saw a little bit of blue as well. So it's more of a subtle, you know, shift that you're getting from this particular shade. But I think it's very pretty. And I think that, you know, if you're more into like these more metallic kind of tones, then you'd probably really like this one. So now we're going in for shifts with Luminite, which is the top shade over here. Right next to that is Midnight Starlight. And then we've got Moonlit Mystique. And this one over here is Winter Star. And yeah, I don't know why I put that shade there. Actually, it's very obvious that it was not going to match at all, but kind of felt like the others may have had similar tones. And yeah, I'm completely wrong, because as you can see, these are really not similar. Wavelength looks like a really pretty silvery kind of pink, so perfect for winter in my opinion. Just looking at it in the pan itself, it's kind of like this pinky purple, and you can see the shift. It's very sparkly. It's a pastel shade, so you know, this is one of the prettier shades in this collection. I was more attracted to this shade. You know, it's just personal preference, but yeah, as I was saying, this is really, really pretty, and I really do like this one. It's a very, very gentle shade, but you can definitely see that shift. I can see a deeper purple going into like a more pinky purple. I do hope the camera is actually picking that up as well. If I come here and I hold my mirror, maybe you can see that shift happening over here. So yeah, it's a very, very beautiful shade. Alrighty, so we're starting over here. This is the shade that we're comparing, which is Wavelength, and we are comparing it currently to Cassiopeia, so you can already see it's different, and the shifts are also different. And right next to that, we got Stella Siren. Stella Siren has a different shift as well, definitely a different kind of purple as well. And right next to that, we've got a Crux and Illuminescence from the Highlighters collection. I just thought that, you know, these were the shades that kind of seem the most similar, and I'm putting my arm down so you can kind of see there is a slight difference in those purples right over here. And the obvious difference over here is that Wavelength does not actually have a gold as obvious. I mean, I haven't seen any gold. It kind of looks more like a pink, just kind of shifting into, yeah, the purple. Probably because the other one is more of a duochrome and this one's a multichrome. Sweet Atom kind of has this pink, purple, gold kind of thing going on with it. It definitely looks like a warmer toned shadow, but it's very, very pretty. Kind of reminds you of candy in some ways. So you can see it's kind of like a candy pink, and you can see what it looks like on my lid. When I look at my finger, I'm getting like purple and gold coming through, you know, in this shade. So we're gonna just press it onto the lid, and then I'll show you what it looks like. But it's a very, very pretty shade. In fact, all of these shades are really, really pretty. I feel like any Terra Moons shimmer that I've received, I've usually been pretty excited about it because it's just so sparkly and it makes it really fun to play with. So yeah, my eyes are feeling a bit dry now because I have swatched quite a few shades, so hopefully I'm going to last through these next 3 ones. But yeah, this is really, really pretty. I do love this pink shade. I think it's beautiful. You could see that this is on a clear base and it's showing up so well. So I'm really, really happy with this one. I can definitely see that gold coming through and a little bit of that purple as well. So I do really like this shade. It's a very sweet shade and I think the name is very apt. Just bear in mind that this one over here is a Crux and got Luminescence, and then we've got, you know, that previous shade over here which was a Wavelength, and yeah, I forgot the names of those two, but just go back and see the other shade to get the names of those two. But anyway, we're coming over here. So this is Sweet Atoms, and I decided to compare it to another highlighter shade, and then this one over here is Gemini and Omega Centauri again. So this highlighter is this shade over here, which the name escapes me. I'm just gonna grab it really quick and check it out. This is Omulthea. Yeah, that's Omulthea. So we've got Omulthea right next to Sweet Atoms. As you can see, you know, the shades are different, and if you want to compare Sweet Atoms to the shades before that, then, you know, be my guest. Now Abyss can look blue in some lighting and purple in other lighting, so it really depends on the angle that you're, you know, kind of hitting the shade at, but I'm able to see even a pink kind of purple coming through from the shade. Abyss is obviously the deepest shade in, you know, this entire collection, and it's so, so pretty. Even on my fingers, you can see it's like this really sparkly blue, and at the same time I'm getting these beautiful deep purples, and then, you know, you have this silver, not silver, what am I saying, pink kind of sparkly thing going on there as well. So it's a very, very pretty shade. I do think this is one of my favorites from the collection. And let's just tap this on. And I really love the formula of every single shade that I have tried so far, but yeah, just look at this. So this is obviously, you know, it's kind of, the base is obviously a deeper color here. I think it's either blue or purple for this one. And yeah, let me just show you the shifts. Yeah, you can automatically see that blue and purple showing up. And you can also see gold coming through now. And if you look closer, you also have pink showing up because of those pretty pink sparkles in the shade. So I really, really do like this one. I think it's a really lovely one. Definitely different from the other Terra Moon shades that I have. So this is a comparison between Abyss, which is the purple shade right over there, and right next to that we've got Orion's Odyssey. So I honestly think that these are kind of like sister shades because the formula is so similar, and then, you know, even the way they shift and everything, it just kind of feels very similar to me. So the shades themselves are very, very beautiful and very deep. You can see why I'm saying that, you know, I kind of feel like these are sister shades. They could basically be in the same family. I think this is a black base because I'm putting my hand down here and we can see a black base, but I just wanted to show you the comparison because of the formula. And I was curious myself because I know that the Abyss shade also has a tiny bit of blue that comes out, but it's definitely like not the same blue because I'm kind of bringing my hand up a bit like this and you can kind of see that blue showing up over there. Ionic Bond over here is really beautiful too. It's this green that shifts into this gold, and then for an extra treat we get this beautiful sky blue kind of coming through over there. And I'm very interested to see how it's going to swatch on my eyes and what other shades we're going to be picking up as we actually use this. But it really is probably one of my favorite shades because, again, I'm a cool tone lover and I just love anything with blue. Okay, Ionic Bond looks like this. It is so freaking pigmented. I'm blown away by this shade. It's so smooth, so buttery. Just got to see how this looks, just pressing it into the skin. Just look at that. Oh my goodness, this shade is incredible. This is my favorite shade so far out of everything that we've tried. I had a feeling that it would be because I'd seen people do some really incredible looks with the shade, but just seeing the shift in color and the pigment from this, oh my goodness. I love this shade. It's blown me away completely. I feel like I saved the best for last, but yeah, you can see just how incredible this looks. And it's so easy to see the shift in this. You can see that blue coming through right away. So that's definitely a blue base over there. And, you know, when I'm doing this, you can, I know it's a bit messy, but yeah, I'm just gonna show it to you anyway. So it's going from that green to that blue to that lighter green over there. It's just really, really beautiful. Absolutely worth every penny. I love this shade. So impressed with this. We've come to the last few comparisons. So this is Ionic Bond over here. I've left the previous two shades over here, so just ignore that. But basically over here, this is Otherworldly, which I felt was definitely pretty close. But the main difference, obviously, you can see the blue and the pink and the purple just coming through over there. And that's not the case with Ionic Bond. And the formula is also different. It's very, very smooth. I'm talking about Ionic Bond over there. This over here is Pluto. Pluto is also different. As you can see, it's a cooler kind of green. It is definitely not the same green, and you can just see all of those shifts happening. This is honestly such a beautiful collection of shades, and I feel so lucky to have all of these. Last but not least, we've got this, which is Retrograde. So Retrograde is moving from a beautiful yellow to a green, and you can see that happening, and it's very, very obvious. Please send me any comparisons that you want to see, and I will do my best to swatch those and get them up here because now I am back in the US and it's a bit easier for me to actually create my content. Retrograde reminds me of a lime apple, and you kind of have this yellowy gold kind of coming through as well from the shade. It's just a very, very bright, happy, summery kind of shade, and I really love it. Okay, so this is the last shade, and you can see how vibrant it is. It's just so yellowy, and it moves from that yellow to this beautiful lime green, and I really love the shade, and it was so smooth and buttery. So again, I'm just gonna put this on my lid so you can see. I can see a very clear shift in color just applying it like this, and it's really, really beautiful. I've had similar shades, I think, from other indie brands, and at least I thought it was going to be similar, but putting it on my lid, I feel like it's not the same at all, especially the way that it's just gliding over my lid and everything. I feel it's a very unique formula and shade too. So yeah, you can definitely see that gold yellow moving into lime green. It's very, very satisfying to actually put this onto your lid with your finger because it's very smooth, similar to Ionic Bond in that way. Alright, so that concludes all 14 shades. Now I'm going to just show you how my palette actually looks, you know, after swatching and everything. So this is how I ended up arranging it. I just kind of like the neutrals, you know, all at the top, and I like the more colorful shades at the bottom. And without a doubt, I think 1, 2, 3, 4 were probably my favorite shades. So yeah, I really enjoyed working with the shades. I felt they were very easy to use. I don't think you'll have a problem with these. The formula, especially of these last two ones, is just so freaking buttery smooth. Oh my goodness, I loved those two shades. They are my favorite shades out of this entire collection. I really love them. I think it's because they're just so vibrant and they're so me. Just look at this yellow going into that green. That really is me. And I know that it's winter, but honestly it brought me so much joy feeling like I was back in summer again, because in Malaysia it is always summer. So I really enjoyed Retrograde and Ionic Bond. I think that they would look absolutely gorgeous on olive and neutral skin tones. That's neutral tan skin tones. So yeah, I am pretty happy with all of this, and I hope that the comparisons were also helpful. So let me know, like I said in the beginning, if there's any specific comparison that you would like to see, and I will do my best to include it in shorts. I won't be doing another video, but I will do looks, and I will have that up over time because I'm still kind of suffering from jet lag, and I just wanted to get this up so you guys could see what you're going to be getting if you want to pick up any of these shades. If you want to go and check out more Terra Moon videos, go and check out my Terra Moons playlist, where I've basically done the same thing for the previous 2 collections that I received, and I had a lot of fun doing that too. So before we go, if you found this video helpful, then do hit the subscribe button, because then you get to see more of my content. I look forward to giving you more videos like this over this year, and I hope that you've had a wonderful start to 2024. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon for another one.